Family members and local leaders in the community are now demanding answers after a Firebaugh mother is detained by ICE during a routine immigration appointment.
These are our neighbors, they are our classmates, our co-workers, our future doctors, our future veterinarians. Separating families does not make us safer. It destroys lives and weakens our communities.
How local community members, along with those leaders, are coming together to fight the immigration crackdown underway by the Trump administration as it begins to take root in the central San Joaquin Valley.
The U.S. is experiencing another history-making moment as we enter day 20 of the third longest shutdown in history. While it's possible ongoing tension between lawmakers will further extend this current shutdown.
The White House now looking to step in as a fragile ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas grows more rocky. While the Trump administration is hopeful sending a team to Israel will help contentious relations.
You're watching Fox 26, and now, great day.
We begin this 5 o'clock hour of Great Day on this Monday morning with the live look at downtown Fresno. A little bit of a haze there. Today's high in Fresno will climb, though, to 82 degrees. Good morning on this Monday. I'm Liz Gonzalez.
I'm Carl Cook.
And I'm Justin Willis. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, we might be getting a little fog later on today. The conditions are there for it, and but the chances, I don't know. We'll have to see as the morning goes on.
Maybe patches here and there. It almost felt like we were driving under it at some points, but
yeah, it would be, if we see anything develop, it'd probably be right after sunrise. Okay. So we'll keep an eye on that for you and see how things are going here. But appreciate you starting your week with us here. Let's get your Monday conditions going. And right now it is 56 degrees outside. Winds are calm. Dew point is at 51. And here is the rest of your day. At 10 a.m. it'll be 63. At noon it'll be 72. And at 5 o'clock it'll be 80 degrees. We should have plenty of sunshine out there for you today. Coming up, your next weather maker. We have a couple of chances of rain on the way for you this week. We'll kind of track that here for you and see what's going on with that next.
A Valley mother remains at an immigration detention center this morning after family members say she had gone to a routine immigration appointment. Now her detainment is sparking outrage among local and state leaders who are demanding answers and calling for her release. Family members say in the last 30 years, 49-year-old Maria Francisca Caballero raised 4 children in Merced County. She has no criminal record, one child attending UC Berkeley Veterinary School, another a UCLA alum in Chicago Medical School, and a third studying to be an attorney. State and local leaders say the ongoing immigration crackdown is preying on vulnerable people, and they're now demanding for the release of Caballero due to her health conditions.
The blatant act of intimidation and contempt for due process. ICE agents stormed the interview, silenced her attorney, and ripped Ms. Caballero from a lawful appointment, stripping her of her dignity as a woman seeking justice in a country that she calls home.
Speakers also called for the release of Leticia Payat, another non-criminal church volunteer who cares for the elderly and has lived in the U.S. for the last 40 years. Her son spoke on her behalf, noting the conditions and lack of health care that Payat and Caballero are currently receiving.
Out in California City, in a desolate, lifeless desert, concrete with barbed wire, she and the other women that are there are deprived of their humanity and their dignity. Just the other day when it rained, her cell was being flooded by rain leaking from the roof.
Representatives say that the cases reflect a broken immigration system that has not been amended in 40 years since then President Ronald Reagan passed the Immigration Reform and Control Act of 1986. There are pending bills in Congress that can help many tax-paying undocumented people see a pathway to citizenship. Federal leaders say they won't stay silent as families continue to be torn apart and live in fear. Now, Fox 26 reached out to the Department of Homeland Security asking, why did ICE detain and hold Maria Villanueva Caballero? This is the answer that our newsroom received from DHS. It writes, Maria Villanueva Caballero is an illegal alien who has shown complete disregard for federal law by illegally entering the United States on 6 separate occasions over the past 25 years. Despite being voluntarily removed 5 times, She has continued to violate our nation's immigration laws, demonstrating a blatant disregard for the rule of law. She currently has no legal status that allows her to remain in the country and will remain in ICE custody pending immigration proceedings. It goes on to say that for some reason, Villanueva Caballero believes she should receive special treatment over the countless immigrants who follow the legal process to enter the U.S. That is not the case. We will continue to follow this case as it develops for you. It's now been a week since a Selma man went deer hunting and didn't return home. Family members say that 65-year-old Ron Daly was going to the Shaver Lake area, and now search efforts are expanding with law enforcement from across the state joining that search. Teams were brought in with specialized equipment and personnel as part of this all-out effort. The local hunting community also trying to pitch in. A member of the D7 Hunters 2.0 Facebook page posted a call for help. He tells Fox 26 local hunters are frustrated because the U.S. Forest Service isn't letting them access certain roads that Daly's family says he goes to hunt. A former search and rescue officer commented on that same post and warned that uncoordinated efforts could create chaos and put more lives at risk. The Fresno County deputy sheriffs responded to the concerns directly.
Well, if the area is closed by the Forest Service, then, maintain that respect for that closure. If the Forest Service has something closed or a locked gate, we still have the ability to go search for Ron or for anybody else that would go missing in that area. But I will say that when we're talking about searching in snow and even dirt, mud, and other things that we see up in that kind of environment, introducing more tracks into the area a lot of times hinders us because we don't know if it was somebody from the community that left those tracks or if it was Ron who left those tracks.
However, she goes on to say that they do appreciate the public's willingness to help, but safety comes first. So they're encouraging people to sign up through the Fresno County Sheriff's Office website or the volunteer site at fresnosar.org. Again, we can't say it enough. Anyone with information on Daly's whereabouts is urged to call the Fresno County Sheriff's Office right away. Let's take another look at his picture there. He's about 5'7", weighs about 220 pounds. He's got brown eyes, brown hair, and a white beard. He was last seen driving a silver Dodge Dakota with a camper shell and the California license plate of 16028S2.
All right, time is 5:06. Let's get a check of the forecast here and show you what's going on. First, we're tracking the visibilities this morning because we could see the development of fog out there. Not a whole lot going on at the moment here. The foggiest we have is Hanford, and you got a mile visibility there. So we'll keep an eye on this. Like we said before, some of this fog could develop right after sunrise, so we'll check that here for you over the course of the next couple hours and see what we get. In the meantime here, you've noticed it's been a little warmer this weekend. We've had some high pressure kind of keeping us warm here, really covering most of the southwest here, and that would impact us as well. So we've had our temperatures get a few degrees above normal here, maybe a little bit more than it should be. However, we have changes on the way with some low pressure developing up in Northern California and then an influx of some thunderstorm activity on the way. We will see a little bit of rain likely Wednesday here. Some of that could start tracking in, looks like Wednesday morning there. And this will be coming from the south, a little bit of tropical moisture stirring up there, and that could bring some a little bit of precip to us on Wednesday morning. It's a very slight chance. We're looking at about a 20% chance, if anything. There may be very light at times. The higher elevations, though, could see some heavier rain. Not a whole lot expected out of this, up to a quarter of an inch in those higher elevations on the valley floor. Probably just trace amounts to about a 1/10 of an inch, depending on where you are. But otherwise, Wednesday's our next best chance of anything going on there. That'll kind of linger on into Wednesday night there. And then we get another slight chance on the way this weekend. National Weather Service has this atmospheric river event going on, coming in by Friday. However, it could break up by the time it gets to our region and not really hit much of us. At this point, it doesn't look like it's going to be much of anything. Last week, we were talking about maybe a ½ inch on the way, but of course, things have changed over the last few days, and now it looks like it's not going to be much of anything, but we still have some time for things to develop further. So we'll keep an eye on that here for you. The best we're going to see Saturday morning there. It looks like we could see some activity in the northern Sierra. And then the rest of it looks like it's just going to go across Northern California at this point. So if there's any changes in that, we will let you know. But for now, it doesn't look like much of anything. All right, next 3 days look like this. Plenty of sunshine today and tomorrow. There will be in the 80s still. 82 today. We're going to get up to 84 for tomorrow. That will be about 7 degrees above normal there. Little warm there. And then Wednesday, we have that 20% chance of rain coming in. It'll be 71 that day. Yeah, a little bit of a cold front dropping in too, but that'll get us all the way down to 71 below normal that day. Overnight lows in the 50s. In just a little bit here, we'll take a look at your highs and lows across the rest of the San Joaquin Valley for your Monday.
House Speaker Mike Johnson now facing increased Democratic pressure to swear in Arizona Rep-elect Adelita Grijalva. Hear his reason for the weeks-long delay. Time is now 5:09.
Hi, I'm Monty Torres with Fox 26 News on YouTube. Thank you for checking out our YouTube channel, where we have loads of great content for you to choose from. And while you're here, why not click on the subscribe button right here? That way you can stay in touch with all the latest breaking news, everything news related within the Central Valley. And thank you for watching.